Hey guys, Mike the Vike here, back for yet another Rust update video. This week the devs actually changed a pretty solid amount of stuff, so let's get into it. Oh, also real quick, if we could get 500 likes on this video, that would be fantastic. Let's see if we can do it, guys. First things first, they have added the Revolver or the Colt Python or whatever Python Revolver into the game. It is actually a craftable pistol. It requires 3 pipes, 3 metal springs, and 10 high quality metal. It has a 6-round capacity, and then of course you will have to reload. Here's a preview of the animations and everything. There you go. I believe that many of the sounds are placeholder or just temporary. For example, the gunshot is not like the permanent one. Apparently there was an issue with it, so that's fine. It's kind of funny that they made all these modern guns craftable. I think it's because they can't really think of an alternative, but it's getting a little strange now that we can make Colt Pythons and MP5s. Now, in terms of damage statistics, it's definitely more powerful than any of the other pistols. However, it's not, I wouldn't say it's amazing right now. There is still some tweaking that they have added, and I don't think that's in yet. So I can't say, like, confidently whether it's bad or good, because they're changing it a lot. The gun can also take a variety of attachments, including the laser, the flashlight, the hollow sight, and the 4-power. I wouldn't really recommend the 4-power. The gun is not that effective at range. You're pretty much guessing. Yeah, there is a bit of recoil, so it's hard to get repeat shots. The hollow sight, I guess you can use it. The iron sights aren't too bad, so I think it's fine as is. Of course, the flashlight and the laser are a nice addition too. Is this realistic in any way? No, not really. I still don't really agree with this, that you can put the hollow sights and the 4-powers on such old designs like so easily, but whatever, it's fine. Overall, the pistol is definitely a nice addition to the game, and I always like guns. The more guns, the better. The next thing that they've changed is they've made an overhaul to the third-person player animations. Now you will actually be able to see when somebody is hip firing or aiming down their sights. This is a pretty great change because it's been needed for a very long time. Also, what's really nice is it's very specific when you see somebody pointing at something. In the past, it was kind of hard to tell where somebody was aiming. Now it's pretty spot on. Here's a look at the difference between hip firing and aiming. You can see it's noticeable for sure, which is nice. Better than nothing. It's still kind of rough, but whatever. Here's a look at the semi-pistol with the same thing. It's kind of hard to tell with this one, and of course the animations are rough, but you know, this is sort of like a first attempt. Here's the bolts with the same thing. Bolts not too bad. Overall though, I like the change a lot. I think it's great. Next up, they have made even more changes to farming. So the planting situation is still very similar. However, what they've changed now is the growth of the plant is now gradual. Jesus Christ. Hang on a second. Jesus. In my show! Get out! Okay, sorry. In the past, the plants didn't really grow dynamically. They just had 3 different settings. It was like small, medium, and then fully grown, which of course isn't the best looking. Now they will grow dynamically. You'll see exactly what % they're at, which is kind of cool. Another thing that they've added, which is kind of complicated, is each seed has its own genetics, and some seeds will plant very fast, and some will grow fairly slow. And you will only know how fast they grow once it's fully grown. So for example, you might have one plant here that's growing faster than the others. For example, this guy's growing a bit faster than these guys, which is cool. So you might want to clone this one and then replace all the other seeds with more of this guy. It's an interesting setup, and I guess it kind of adds new, not really gameplay, but it adds more stuff to think about in the game, because you're going to be monitoring your plants and making sure you've got like the most efficient farm in all of Rust. I don't know how important something like this is, like, you know, like I guess this is nice. Did I ask for this? Is this gonna be game changing? I don't know. It's just another thing. Like, cool, I guess. Like, that's nice. Dynamic plant growth and cloning. That's sick, dude. But it's not a priority. Next, they actually made some changes to the beloved P250, or semi-auto pistol. They've given it a bit of a nerf, but I would definitely say this is very much so needed. Firstly, they increased the recoil on it a little bit, but it's noticeable. You could still like absolutely go crazy when you're crouched, but standing it's pretty bad. Like it's worse, but I'm glad. They also reduced the effective range, which is probably the biggest change here. This is no longer like a one-man army pistol. It's going to be less effective at range, mostly in the damage department. It's just very weak. However, the damage at close range is the same, so this will still pretty much dominate in close quarters. Is this a good thing? I don't think so. I would say that all the damage on all the guns is pretty messed up these days, and the whole thing needs an overhaul, but you know, this is nice. At least this thing isn't crazy OP anymore. And that's actually it for content in the game. Now let's take a look at things that we have to look forward to. Firstly, it looks like AI is getting a bit of an overhaul. They're testing out a new version of Unity, and it's on the pre-release branch, however it's not playable right now. This is exciting stuff, so hopefully we will no longer be seeing bears and animals running through rocks and climbing up mountains ignoring physics. This would be very nice. They also mentioned potentially some more PvE elements, which sounds exciting. Now this is very far away, so don't be waiting for this, but it's still cool. There's also some models being made for the Overgrowth in the game. The setup is that basically in the environment, stuff will start growing and the environment will change. There'll be more grass, more plants and stuff like that as the server is living. Now, he also intends to put this on bases too. So for example, an old base would have like a whole bunch of overgrowth on it and it would look really cool, whereas a new base would have none. Once again, there's no ETA for this. I think this is a long ways away, but it's nice to see that that's happening. And then there is more progress on the new bear fur. Now, people were freaking out that it looked like a hedgehog in the last video. I don't think people understood that that was just like a work in progress. Here's a more complete example, and I think this one looks really, really good. Definitely way better than the current thing. I look forward to seeing this on all the other animals too, and hopefully we can see this in the game fairly soon. And lastly, there's some more work being done on the props in the rad towns. Particularly the electrical boxes are being worked on. They aren't done yet, but they still look nice. And that's pretty much it for this week's update video. There was of course some other stuff, but nothing too interesting. I really like the Revolver. I think it was a great addition, and more importantly I say the player animations are a welcome change. It's been needed for far too long. This of course was recorded on my Rust server. It's a 2x modded server with TP kits and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you're interested in joining, there is information on how to do so in the description. That's all I got for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like, helps a lot. If you're new here, please subscribe. I've got lots more videos on the way. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.